Hello, I'm Leonardox, and this is video number 4 in my series on going pro in Valorant. Here's tip number 4. Mindset. Judge yourself, not others. You can only control yourself. You can't control anybody else. Sadly for you, you want to go pro in Valorant, which means you're playing a game that's a 5v5 team-based tactical shooter. Team-based. You can't control the other 4 people. Do they play terribly? Do they act like bots? Doesn't matter. You can't control them. Did you die because of them? Doesn't matter. If you died, you can't be yelling at them. You can't be being toxic. You can't be saying, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's your fault I died, because it doesn't matter. Hope you watched the other tips in my video series, because if you did, you will learn the game doesn't matter. If you die, doesn't matter. If you lose, doesn't matter. You're not playing to win. You're playing to be a better player, to improve yourself so that in the tournament you can play to win. But if that still doesn't help you, and you still feel yourself getting toxic and getting mad at other players when they're not doing your job and they're playing like bots and I can't believe they let them through when I told them to do this, hey, remember, you can't control them. Maybe it's their fault, maybe it's not. Even if it is, there's nothing you can do. If you're toxic and you yell at them, all they're going to do is piss them off, and then they're going to start acting toxic, and they're going to start throwing the game and trolling. What you can do is control yourself. Think, what could I have done in that situation so that I didn't die? That does not mean, very important, it does not mean you ignore what happened. If you are holding a point, you tell your teammate to cover this line of sight, and you're holding this point, and he says yes, he doesn't cover the line of sight, and someone comes from that angle and kills you, maybe that was the right play. On a better team, in an actual tournament situation, they would have covered your back. That doesn't mean change the call. Maybe that was the right call, but that still doesn't mean there's not something you can do to work on that. Yes, that was the right call. Okay, maybe you made the right decision. It was his fault. But you know what else you can do? Maybe work on your flicks some more. And maybe next time, if that happens, because even in a professional situation with the best players in the world, mistakes happen. If an enemy player comes through from a line of sight that you told your teammate to cover, instead of dying, maybe you pull off a crazy flick because you worked on your flicks and now you're used to the situation. By focusing on yourself instead of yelling at other people, you will improve your level of play and you rise yourself above everybody else. More likely you're going pro. And none of that convinces you. Remember this. Every second that you spend being toxic, being tilted, yelling at your teammates, guess what? Somebody else is focusing on themselves and what they can improve, and they're getting better at you. And they're going to go pro, not you. If you want to go pro, you got to think and judge yourself, not others. That's it for the video. See you in the next one. Lego.